time now for some Heisman Power Rankings. Where do we sit after 4 weeks of college football, plus week 0, which doesn't really count, but 4 games from those programs. So we'll take you through 10-1 here on our top 10 Heisman Power Rankings. And Harris, some changes near the bottom.
Yes.
Because players have fallen out there, but overall some adjustments. Benny Snell makes the list, my boy.
Benny Snell makes the list week 1. He was fantastic this week for Kentucky. Trace McSorely also jumps into the top 10 for our list. The dude just can't stop scoring touchdowns.
He's putting up numbers.
If you'll notice, A.J. Dillon and Kellen Mond are off the list now. They both lost.
Be on there.
They can't be on there. Drew Lock, despite the loss, will keep him on there. He's having a fantastic season. Same with Justin Herbert. Bryce Love jumps from number 8 to number 6 with Stanford's big win over Oregon. And then honestly, Tom, no changes in the top 5. Absolutely no changes, simply because they all played really well and didn't really need to move anyone around.
I almost feel like it's a top 4 right now. Like there are 4 guys that have kind of established themselves.
That's true. Taylor's still obviously playing very well for Wisconsin, but the lack of touchdowns the last 2 weeks has definitely kind of stunted his growth overall as a Heisman candidate. Kyler Murray continues to put up touchdowns. He continues to stay on our Heisman rankings. He's going to stay in the top 4. It very much is the top 4 between Will Grier, Murray, Haskins,
as well,
and Tua.
Like he's so dynamic.
Yeah, he
does so many good things for
you. I think also we haven't really seen the rushing as much as we have in the past, and I think this game we saw against Army, them really allow him to open it up with his legs. He's a fantastic athlete. Every single time he steps on the field, he's arguably the best athlete on either team.
He's so tough to bring down.
Yes.
And I'm excited to see him play really the rest of the season, and I'm glad I don't have to evaluate him for the NFL because I don't know how good he'd be in the NFL. But he is a fantastic college quarterback, obviously one of the 5 best.
Another difficult guy that's going to interpret for the NFL is Will Grier. After a week off, 25 of 35, 356, 5 touchdowns, and 2 picks against Kansas State. That's just what this West Virginia offense does. They're going to score a ton of points. Him and David Sills connected for another 3 touchdowns on the day. I still think he's going to be a very good college quarterback when we look back. I just don't know if he's going to be a great NFL guy.
The highs, you see it. 5 TDs, 356. You also see the lows with 2 interceptions. And in the end, for Will Grier and his Heisman hopes, as long as West Virginia keeps winning,
he'll be up there.
They're going to be in the mix.
Now, Tom, you mentioned there was a top 4. I disagree. I think there's a top 2. It's
Dwayne
Haskins and Tua. Dwayne Haskins has been amazing so far this year. Now, obviously, the only real big game that Ohio State has had to play this year, was TCU, and he still did quite well. But against Tulane, 304, 5 touchdowns. Urban Meyer's back. Haskins looks amazing. This Ohio State team is incredible. They're great to watch. It's similar to what we've seen with Alabama and other teams that have kind of switched to more better-armed quarterbacks. Haskins has just opened up his offense for Ohio State.
Just another note here on Haskins, because we're going to talk plenty about Tua as well. With Haskins, I feel like I'm a week late behind on this, but don't be surprised if you start hearing the #1 overall pick buzz for Haskins.
Yeah, I would.
He is draft eligible, and he's looked utterly fantastic. Now, the one thing I want to see for Haskins is what I want to see from all quarterbacks. How do you fare once the adversity hits? Same with Tua, really. Like both those quarterbacks, it's almost been easy for them.
Yeah.
Eventually, that will change.
Yeah.
And how they respond to when they get down big, or their receiver drops pass ends up being an interception, or they just have an off game. How they respond will be critical for their NFL hopes, their Heisman hopes, and of course their own individual team hopes. But overall, I agree with you. I think Tua and Haskins are your top 2 guys right now, because they're putting up unreal numbers in really partial time.
And I think also with Tua, it's been kind of difficult to really interpret his season because he really hasn't played that much. I mean, he keeps playing halves of games, but in this game against Texas A&M, we really got to see him let loose. 22-30, 387, 4 touchdowns. The thing that also shuns me about Tua is not only his efficiency and just how well
that
he
he's a
throws the
lefty
ball,
and there are no lefties
lefty,
left.
sure. He doesn't turn it over. And as a young quarterback, you see them make stupid decisions and turn the ball over a lot. He hasn't even had any crazy accidental turnovers. He does not turn over the ball. And I think that's really been, there really isn't a what is the most impressive part of Tua Tagovailoa, but the lack of turnovers for me in his first full season really starting, that's been very stunning to me. No turnover, or very few turnovers so far for Tua.
So is Tua your pick to win the Heisman Trophy this year?
Absolutely. I think that unless Dwayne Haskins ends up just having a better season, I still think there's a possibility that Haskins has a better season. He's been fantastic for Ohio State so far. They make it all the way to the college football playoff and Ohio State wins. I think that Haskins could end up being your Heisman winner. Now, Tua's going to be the favorite until he either loses or Haskins passes him, but I think we do need to ask the question, when can Dwayne Haskins pass Tua? He has put up better stats so far than him. Now, credit, they've both only played one ranked team so far, so we'll be interested to see what happens as conference play starts to ramp up more.
I want to see Haskins against that Michigan defense.
Me too.
Wisconsin too, really.
We're going to see Haskins go up against a lot of really good teams, and I think that if he kind of holds out, he could end up jumping Tua for that #1 spot.
Tua's tough game, I think, is going to be LSU based on where we sit right now. All right, folks, let us know who you think will win the Heisman Trophy in the comments section.
Who do you think is going to win?
I think it's going to be Tua.
Yeah.
I think Tua is going to find a way to win the Heisman because I think he's the best player on the best team, and that gets boring for Alabama, but that's where we are.
Benny Snell is going to win the Heisman this year.
I hope so.
Benny
How great
Snell.
would that be?
That'd be amazing.
Sign me up for my boy Snell. Snell, yeah, baby.
Benny Snell for Kentucky.
And a big thank you to BetDSI as well for sponsoring today's show. Go to chatsports.com/bet. Use promo code LIVE120 for a 120% deposit bonus.